What's happening in the world of tech and beyond? The news cycle never stops, and neither do we. Get ready for a rapid-fire update, packed with information you absolutely cannot afford to miss. From critical security alerts affecting billions to surprising allegations shaking up major platforms, we're diving deep into the stories that are defining our digital lives. Stick around, because you're about to get the unmissable download on what's trending and what's next. Let's get into it. First up, a massive wake-up call for billions of Gmail users. We've got critical security warnings directly from Google, detailing major hacks and what you absolutely need to do to protect your account. This isn't just another notification, it's a high-level alert about your digital safety. But the scrutiny doesn't stop there. We're also breaking down serious allegations leveled against Gmail itself, questioning the very algorithms that manage your inbox. Is there partisan filtering at play? We've got the details on the claims and what they could mean for how you receive information. And if that wasn't enough, we're seeing reports of a colossal data leak impacting an astonishing number of users, alongside new, sophisticated AI-driven threats that could change the game for online security. Plus, we're touching on another angle of these filter controversies. Stay tuned for all the crucial updates and make sure you're subscribed and the bell is on so you don't miss a single second. A wake-up call for billions. Google is sounding the alarm for nearly every single one of its 2.5 billion Gmail users, issuing a stark warning to update passwords and bolster account security. This urgent advisory comes in the wake of a series of what Google describes as successful intrusions by sophisticated hacking groups. The New York Post has reported that the tech giant is strongly recommending that users remain hypervigilant for any unusual activity within their accounts, and to immediately implement additional layers of security, such as two-factor authentication, if they haven't already done so. The primary methods hackers employ to gain unauthorized access often involve deceptive phishing emails that lead users to fake login pages or the exploitation of two-factor authentication codes through clever social engineering tactics. While it's common knowledge that strong, unique passwords are key, the reality is that a significant portion of users still do not update their passwords with the regularity needed to stay ahead of evolving threats. Google's intensified security recommendations follow a breach of its Salesforce database. Although this breach primarily exposed public data, including contact information for small to medium-sized businesses, it has raised serious concerns. The threat actor group known as Shiny Hunters, which has a documented history of high-profile cyberattacks against major entities like AT&T, Microsoft, Santander, and Ticketmaster since 2020, is reportedly preparing for new waves of attacks. Adding to the pressure, these groups may be planning to launch a data-draining website to blackmail their victims. Google has specifically noted that these emerging attack methods are designed to increase pressure on targets, including those affected by the recent Salesforce-related incidents. In response, Google has dispatched emails to all users identified as being impacted by the latest security events, imploring them to routinely review their account activity, exercise extreme caution with suspicious links, and promptly report any activity that raises red flags. The company's proactive stance underscores the escalating sophistication of cyber threats and the critical need for users to remain informed and diligent in protecting their digital presence. Audience impact. This widespread alert has cybersecurity experts emphasizing the paramount importance of proactive security measures, with many users taking to social media to share their experiences and tips for enhanced protection. Don't go anywhere, because the next story reveals a surprising allegation that could change how you view your inbox. We're talking about claims of partisan filtering within Gmail itself. Is your inbox biased? Google faces scrutiny. In a significant development that could impact how millions perceive their email services, U.S. Federal Trade Commission Chairman Andrew Ferguson has publicly alleged that Gmail employs what the FTC terms partisan filtering. This serious claim was formally raised in a letter addressed directly to Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google's parent company, Alphabet. The regulator disclosed the contents of this letter, which explicitly states the FTC's understanding based on recent reports. According to the letter, Gmail's spam filters are accused of routinely blocking messages from Republican senders while failing to intercept similar communications originating from Democratic sources. This alleged disparity in filtering practices raises substantial questions about the neutrality and fairness of a platform used by billions worldwide. Google has a history of denying similar accusations from Republican and conservative groups in the past, often attributing such claims to misunderstandings of their complex filtering algorithms. However, the involvement of the FTC chairman lends considerable weight to the current allegations. The implications of such partisan filtering, if proven true, could extend far beyond mere spam management. It could influence the flow of political information, impact campaign communications, and potentially shape public discourse by selectively amplifying or suppressing certain voices. Critics argue that any form of algorithmic bias, particularly in a widely used communication tool like Gmail, undermines the principles of free speech and equal access to information. The complexity of email filtering involves countless variables, including sender reputation, content analysis, and user-reported spam, making it challenging to definitively prove intent or systemic bias. Nonetheless, the FTC's direct inquiry signifies a high level of concern from a key regulatory body. This situation highlights the ongoing tension between technology platforms' efforts to manage vast amounts of online content and the public's expectation of fairness and transparency. As the investigation unfolds, the tech industry will be watching closely, as any ruling or finding could set a precedent for how email services and other communication platforms are regulated in the future. The company's response and the FTC's subsequent actions will be crucial in determining the impact of these allegations on user trust and the broader digital landscape. The tech giant's commitment to unbiased content delivery is now under a microscope, demanding clear answers and potentially significant adjustments to its core services. Audience impact. These allegations have sparked a heated debate online, with users demanding transparency from Google regarding its filtering mechanisms and political groups calling for thorough investigations. But the story doesn't end with alleged bias. We're also uncovering a massive data leak that could put you at risk. Get ready for the details on what might be the largest breach yet. A colossal data breach, 2.5 billion Google users exposed. In a concerning turn of events, Google has reportedly experienced a massive data breach, potentially exposing the information of a staggering 2.5 billion users. This incident follows closely on the heels of Google's own warnings to its Gmail users, urging them to update passwords and enhance account security due to a significant number of successful intrusions by hackers. The breach, reportedly carried out by the notorious Shiny Hunters group, targeted Google's Salesforce CRM system using a sophisticated voice phishing, or vishing, attack. While Google maintains that no sensitive user data was directly compromised in this specific intrusion, the exposed business contact information has been weaponized. This data is now allegedly being used in targeted phishing and impersonation scams, amplifying the risk to individuals and businesses alike. Adding another layer of complexity and threat, Google has also alerted users to the growing danger of advanced AI-powered attacks. These attacks are specifically targeting its Gemini assistant through indirect prompt injection techniques. This method involves embedding malicious commands within seemingly innocuous content, such as emails or calendar invitations, which could potentially trick Gemini into divulging sensitive information. Google, in a blog post from June, expressed its belief that threat actors operating under the Shiny Hunters brand are likely preparing to escalate their extortion tactics by launching a dedicated data leak site. The company stated, "These new tactics are likely intended to increase pressure on victims, including those associated with the recent UNC 6040 Salesforce-related data breaches." Google confirmed that it had notified all users impacted by this incident via email on August 8th. Furthermore, another significant risk stems from infostular malware, which has led to the leak of over 184 million account credentials, including numerous Google logins. These credentials, often obtained from infected devices or unsecured databases, are fueling widespread credential stuffing attacks against Gmail and various other online platforms. It is crucial to note that while none of these incidents involved a direct breach of Gmail's core servers, the stolen data is being actively exploited to target users through increasingly sophisticated methods. Google reiterates its recommendations, enabling two-factor authentication, using strong and unique passwords, and regularly running security checks. As cyber threats become more AI-driven, user vigilance and proactive security are more critical than ever. Audience impact. Cybersecurity analysts are calling this a wake-up call for the entire tech industry, highlighting the interconnectedness of data security and the ripple effects of breaches across platforms. But the threat landscape is evolving, and the next story reveals new AI-driven attacks that could change everything. Stay with us for the full breakdown. Gmail filters under fire. The partisan allegations deepen. Questions are mounting regarding the impartiality of Gmail's widely used filtering system, as new reports emerge detailing allegations of partisan filtering. This controversy centers on claims that the platform's algorithms may be systematically treating messages differently based on their political affiliation. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission, FTC, has officially weighed in, with Chairman Andrew Ferguson formally raising the issue in a letter to Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai. The FTC's statement highlights recent reporting suggesting that Gmail's spam filters are accused of routinely blocking messages from Republican senders while failing to block similar communications originating from Democratic sources. This alleged disparity has sparked significant debate about the potential for bias within a platform used by billions globally. Google has previously refuted similar accusations from conservative groups, often attributing such claims to the inherent complexities and evolving nature of its spam detection algorithms. However, the direct involvement of the FTC chairman injects a new level of seriousness into the allegations. The core of the concern lies in how such filtering practices could impact the dissemination of information, particularly in the political sphere. If messages from one party are consistently delayed or blocked, while those from another are delivered without issue, it could create an uneven playing field for political discourse and campaigning. Experts suggest that while email providers strive for neutrality, the sheer volume of data and the constant evolution of spam tactics make perfect impartiality a difficult, if not impossible, goal. Sophisticated actors often attempt to game the system, and filters must adapt rapidly to distinguish legitimate communication from malicious or unwanted content. The complexity arises when these adaptations might inadvertently create patterns that appear biased. The FTC's inquiry underscores the growing regulatory scrutiny on major technology platforms and their role in shaping public access to information. The outcome of this investigation could have far-reaching implications, potentially influencing how email services are regulated and what standards of transparency and fairness are expected. Users are increasingly aware of the power these platforms wield, and demands for clarity on algorithmic decision-making are growing louder. The situation demands a thorough examination of Gmail's filtering mechanisms to ensure they operate without undue bias, thereby maintaining user trust and upholding principles of equitable communication in the digital age. Audience impact. The controversy has fueled discussions among users about the transparency of algorithms and the potential for technological platforms to influence political communication. And that's not all. We're also looking at the latest AI threats that could redefine online security. Stick around for the full story. And that's a wrap on today's essential updates. We've covered Google's urgent security warnings for billions of Gmail users, explored serious allegations of partisan filtering within Gmail, detailed a massive data leak impacting a vast number of accounts, and touched upon the growing threat of AI-driven attacks. Don't miss out on future critical updates. Hit that like button, subscribe to Google Trends Hub, ring the notification bell, share your thoughts in the comments, and follow us on all social media platforms for more.